Huh? So, I mean, imagine like what could be the future situation, for our children, for our future. Yesterday I was telling my son, he doesn't take water, from the water filter which is normally attached to the fridge or the tap water. He has to buy the bottled water, and he has to buy all those small bottles, and he drinks about 5 liters every day. So he can imagine how many bottles are piling up in my house. I told him, each bottle you drink, each bottle of water from a plastic bottle, how much environment hazard we are causing. We don't think. Today a lot of people have seen, once I went to one of my friend's house, his teenage daughter was taking shower for 2.5 hours. I'm not even exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating at all. And that is an apartment. In his apartment, that's the only bathroom, and everybody else has to wait 2.5 hours. And if it is emergency, you have to go to the, drive half a mile to the McD's. And that's the only option. So imagine how much water is going waste for nothing. And I was talking about is how water is the most precious resource. Look at it this way, every resource which is provided to us is very precious. If there is any sin in life, is wasting the resources. There's no more sin than that. Because if we don't preserve the resources as much as possible, the future generation will be depleted very fast of those resources. All the millions of dollars we leave behind is of no help to our children. Our grandchildren are moving for the future. Anyways, that was a separate topic. I don't know where we started on this. From inferno to the population, basically. So in that book, he talks about this whole drama is about how we can control the human population. And one guy comes up with a biological virus, something like COVID, which makes the half the population infertile, so that the population will be controlled automatically. And the hero is trying to prevent from that virus being released, something like that. But the original Inferno by Dante is amazing. Read it. Divine Comedies. There are 3 books.
At the Rollins Museum at Rollins College, they have an exhibit there of the artwork from Dante.
Oh yeah, Dante. You should see the artwork. It's not that artwork was not done by Dante, by the way. The artwork is based on the book.
Not. But to have it on display there.
Yeah, I've not seen, but I've seen a lot of artworks of Dante, and I've read it so many times. That's me, the donkey. Choose any paper which comes my way. But anyways, so the Inferno is the first book, and then the Purgatory, and then the Paradise. These are the 3 books. So, anyways, on a separate topic. And this Thursday, I had a good discussion with Cliff. So that was a continuation on this discussion on the topic of goal. So when we say we are setting the goal setting, and some of you might have attended the program in Dayton, and we had the same program here in parallel. So we discussed about the goal setting. And goal setting comes out of the need. When we realize the need, the goal setting makes sense. And then the question is, so when I have a goal, how far this goal is, how far away in the future or where is this goal? And the answer is basically the goal is always in the present. If the goal is not in the present, that goal doesn't exist neither in the past nor in the future. Goal is always in the present. So how do I explain this, right? So one of my friend who practiced this heartfulness for a couple of years once calls me, and he was, I could see that he was very apprehended, or it was a frantic call, I should say. And then he calls me and says, how many people have reached this goal in heartfulness? And if 3 or 4 people have reached this goal, then where are my chances? And this again, apparently, the thing which it triggered in him is one of the what we used to call him master, or our global teacher guide. He said, I could only count in fingers the people who reached Babaji's during Babaji's time, and probably I count in fingers in my lifetime also, something like that. That kind of statement triggered this question in him. If only 3 or 4 people have reached out of 100,000 or million people who are practicing, what are my chances? Naturally, our mind thinks in the other direction, correct? Like the other day, I was telling one of my friend, hey, Powerball is 360 million if you want to buy it. He said, oh, I don't have luck in my life. I said, oh, how do you know? Right? But anyways, so then I said, if everybody who meditated have reached their goal, have been with the goal, otherwise the meditation is meaningless. What are we meditating on? Right? We have been meditating. What are we meditating on? The supposition we give in the beginning of meditation is we are meditating that higher essence, the divine essence I am meditating on. Is that becoming that essence is my goal? Isn't it? And where is this higher essence? It is already within me. It's there. So there is no new goal coming in. It's already there. So when I meditate, so this is the principle we have been talking about all along. My mind becomes that where that is put it on. If you put your mind on work, your mind becomes work. That means you become work. If I put my mind on a song, my mind becomes that music. If my mind goes into sports, I become sports. So when my mind goes to this essence, essentially it becomes that essence. That means we are already with the goal. Then Cliff made a very good observation. He said, I feel that feeling that I have during the meditation, I can also feel it while I'm doing my work, while I'm listening, while I'm doing other things. That means when that essence, that feeling of that essence sets in the mind, we can be with that essence and do all other things at the same time. So then I am with the goal all the time. Correct? So then where is this goal? It's not in the future. I am already with the goal. So what we are trying to bring is what we are trying to do is to bring this goal into the present. It's not like the goal I am going to achieve in the future. Right? So once I was in, one city, I think Greenville, South Carolina. I went there to conduct meditations. I used to go there every alternate weeks when I was living in Charlotte, about 3 hours for me. I used to go there and give sessions from morning 7 till like evening 8. and then I go home, drive back. So that was my last session, and one of the sisters who is taking the session from me said, oh, in next 6 months I'll become the most sincere practitioner of heartfulness. There is this word used in Hindi for practitioner. It is called abhyasi, 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 right? So I'll become the best in next 6 months. So I told her, sister, I'm going to travel back now in 3 hours, and there is a lot of rain. The weather is bad. So I'm not sure if I reach my home alive. I'm saying hypothetically, I'm not being negative. How do you want me to change my life in next 3 hours if I only have 3 hours to live? Please understand, this is not a negative statement. This is a statement. This kind of a statement happens when the goal sets in. Means, to me, the present is more important than even the 3 hour future. Because it's not about the uncertainty or certainty after 3 hours. But what is certain is the present. So when my mind is hooked on to this present, most of the things which will happen is, first thing, we talk about peace. The peace happens automatically. And the second which happens when I'm in present is, I have no worries about the future. Because my mind is set, hooked on to the present. It is not. The worry only happens when I think of the future. Oh, what will happen to this earth? Like I started in the beginning, right? All the resources will be depleted if the population crosses a certain threshold. Now if I start worrying about it. Like in that 2012, they said Mayan calendar is only up to 2012. That means the world is ending after 2012. You have no idea how many people got worried about it. Because I happened to talk to a lot of people at a personal level. And a couple of families I know, they left United States thinking that, okay, if the world ends, they want to be with the family back in India. Literally, they left their homes before December 25th, I think, December 12th or December 25th, 2012. So, when we think about the future always appears to be worrisome. There's always some worry about the future. What will happen to my children? Oh, he's not studying well. What will he do? He will survive. Right? So this is all like this. We always worry about things. Oh, my marriage is in shambles. What will happen? So like this, every time we think about the future, I don't think you can establish peace thinking of the future. We can only establish peace thinking of the present, if I am with the goal in the present. What will happen tomorrow after 1 hour? Who knows? Nobody knows. So that's why it is very essential to bring this goal to the present. And how it will happen? When I meditate and I carry that meditative state throughout the day. And then my next meditation, again I carry it throughout the day until my next meditation. If I can practice this, that means, how do I practice it? Basically pay attention to that meditation. When I pay attention to that meditation, I feel that shift. When I feel that shift, it almost becomes an automatic thing for me to cherish it, remember it. Don't we remember something great happens today in the morning? Oh, I got a call and I got a promotion. Don't you think about it all day? Something good happens, we think about it all day. Something bad happens also, we think about it all day. When something bad happens, mind hooks on to that bad thing. When something good happens, mind hooks on to that good thing. So that's why when we get up in the morning, if my first activity is meditation, if I can bring this good state of mind into my system, I can carry my day all day with that good thing. If something bad happens during the day also, I can just say, "Psst, let me go back to the good thing." It's easy. You can do it. Right? So that's why meditation, that's why we don't say meditate, oh, you do meditation, you'll have peace. No, that's not like that. When you establish this goal, when you bring that into present, then peace happens, then contentment happens, then certain clarity happens in life. What about the future? Let me worry about the present. Let me look into my present. Future will, when we get there, that the future becomes present at some point, right? Then we'll think about it. So if I'm studying medicine, yes, I want to become a doctor in the future, but I have to study into the present, right? I have to understand all those texts. I have to understand the anatomy, whatever is involved in becoming a doctor. So it's always the present which sets the future in, but my goal has to be in the present. Any goal you set in, if it is not in the present, it cannot happen. So that's the idea of goal. So goal setting is to bring that goal into the present, if you ask me. Right? So that's all I have to say today. So we have 2 minutes to share any comments, observation, whatever you want to share. It's unfair on me that I take 20 minutes and I give you guys 2 minutes. Next time we should be changed. I should be silent. I can, I'm a very silent person if you don't know. I like to be in silence.
We all do too.
So now let's become silent then. Let's
Yes.
start meditation. All right. Please start meditation.